So guys, now I'm going to give you some special insight on Joshua's long day. So this is understanding that the Ruach had showed me while I was shown this. Other people have mapped this, but I don't think people had all recognized the coordinates of Gilgal, which is right here, of Gibeon, right here, and the valley of Elayon. Some people have placed Gilgal up here, a little north. Some people have Gilgal way up here. We're going to go over this, but what I saw was that they share the same longitude, okay? And they are on the same longitude. So let's go ahead and get up in this regarding the same longitude. Israel's camp was still at Gilgal during Joshua's long day. You can look up Joshua 9:6. Israel was still camping in Gilgal. Gilgal was in the plains of Jericho, east of Jericho, somewhere around here. I'm using this coordinate to pinpoint it. You guys can, it could be just a little bit north. This could be a little bit north. This could be a little bit north. But this is what I chose to pinpoint it, guys. And you'll see something very strange happening here. This strange work that happened when Yahweh rose up in Gibeon and broke forth in Gibeon during Joshua's long day. And this is insight the Ruach gave me. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked. So Joshua was by Jericho, guys, and behold, there was a man over against him, and with his sword drawn in his hand. The sword, when you see the sword running, you got to warn. Guys, I'm trying to warn of the coming sword, guys. And Joshua went out unto him and said, Art thou for us or for our adversaries? And he, that man that Joshua saw, said, Nay, but as the captain of the host of Yahweh am I now come. Guys, this is Yeshua. And Joshua, Yehoshua, salvation, fell on his face. Yah is salvation, Yeshua, Yehoshua. Yeshua is short for Yehoshua. He fell on his face to the earth and did worship. Okay, this isn't an angel. Angels won't receive worship. This is the angel of the captain of the host of Yahweh. This is the angel of Yahweh, the same angel that appeared to Abraham with two other men, two other messenger angels, smaller angels, that appeared to Abraham, guys. Okay? The angel of Yahweh. The captain of the host and said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe off thy foot, for the place where thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. Angels can't receive worship, but the captain of the host of Yahweh can receive worship and does receive your worship. This is Yeshua. So guys, Gil Broussard will say there was, during Joshua's long day, a planet came out of nowhere, or a planet came by him and did this. But guys, I want to show you some insight. The Ruach shared this with me, that the angel of Yahweh encamps around them that fear him and delivereth them. So guys, there's an angel camping around camp of the Israel right here. And that angel that's encamping around the camp of Israel is the captain of the host of Yahweh. This is the angel of Yahweh, guys. This isn't a regular angel. This is Yeshua. Okay? And then we see down in Joshua 10, Then spake Joshua to Yahweh in that day when Yahweh delivered up the Amorites. Okay? Before the children of Israel. Joshua said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou upon Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Alion. So Joshua's here, I believe. On this day, I don't know where Joshua is, but he is commanding the sun to stand still here, and he's commanding the moon to stand still here. And now I'm going to show you some more observations and insight the Ruach shared with me regarding this situation. So we have the angel, what I believe, the angel of Yahweh, the captain of the host of Yahweh, standing directly over, encamping around Israel right here in Jericho. We have the sun standing still here upon Gibeon, and the moon standing here upon the valley of Alion. Now let's go ahead and see, and now here's my insight that I want to share with you. In verse 13 of chapter 10, it says that the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and in the midst And when the sun stands still, guys, in the midst of heaven, it's solar noon. Okay? And for you guys to know this, it happens, solar noon is a special time in the day for Elohim. And I recommend that if you're children of Yah, that you pray to the hour, during this hour. It should be a time of prayer when the sun is directly above your head, that we pray to Elohim. Okay? The fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Some that more than likely is at daybreak, when the sun rises above the horizon, solar noon, and then right after sunset when the sun sets. Another time of prayer could also be the third hour of the day, which is when I believe the daily offering was made, and also the ninth hour of the day, which is around 3 o'clock. But it's a solar clock, not our stopwatch time. It's solar hour noon. But you'll see that the 6th hour is a supernatural hour if you do a study on it. A brother named Jose that I met in Jerusalem shared this with me. And there's a lot of things where the 6th hour of the day, check this out, just check that out. But in verse 12, guys, Joshua commands the sun to stand still upon Gibeon, and the moon upon the valley of Elianon. So I shared that the coordinates of Gibeon, here's the latitude, the valley of Elianon. They share the same longitude. And along Gilgal, where the Israelites' camp was actually the same longitude, north. We have the moon standing over the valley of Ajalon, the sun standing over Gibeon. Gil Broussard, like I said, would argue that there was a planet 7X flyby. I theorize there was a heavenly body standing over the Israelites' camp in Gilgal, and that was the angel of Yahweh that we talked about. He camps around them that fear him and delivers them. So the valley of Elijon and Gibeon are aligned on the same longitude and separated by 10.5 miles, 16.9 kilometers. This means that the sun and moon are separated by fractions of degrees, guys, which means that there may have been, and there must have been a solar eclipse that had to have happened just prior to this event that happened. And what else is strange, another observation and insight that Ruach gave me, okay, is that the strange fact is that the maximum longitude of the sun is the Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5 degrees, and occurs on the summer solstice, the longest daylight time of the year. But when this event happened in Gibeon, when the sun stood still, and we know because it stood still in the midst of heaven, it was solar noon. And it also says that it was directly above Gibeon. So if the sun stood in the midst of heaven at solar noon and it was directly above Gibeon, it was 8 degrees north. This is the same thing that happened during the time of Hezekiah, which Gil Broussard equates with also was around the time of King Hezekiah, where the sun went back 15 steps. It also, he was using a ball earth understanding of it. Right now, I want to look at it through a flat earth understanding. Guys, I can't and don't have the time to do all the mathematical equations of this. I'm just giving you my insight and understanding. You guys who are mathematicians out there, I can do the math, but I don't have the time or the patience to do the math. Go out and do the math, guys, and look into these matters and solve these things. All praise and give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh. Hallelujah, for giving the insight to these things. But Gil Broussard thinks that the ball earth tilted, that there was a body that went into it. What I'm saying is that the sun, and we'll talk about this, the sun was over Gibeon, and it's 8 degrees beyond its northern boundary limit of the Tropic of Cancer. This is something that is supernatural that happened in Joshua's long day. The moon was also on that same longitude, but in the valley of Elion, the moon's maximum longitude is 28.6 degrees north, and will reach maximum longitude. It doesn't reach this maximum longitude. It's like a cycle to reach this longitude. It's not projected to reach the 28.6 degrees until 2024, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the maximum longitude it was for this time, it was 3 degrees north of its boundary. More than 3 degrees north of its boundary. So something supernatural happened. We also know just a couple of months prior that the Jordan River stopped flowing so the Israelites could cross over on dry land just a few months prior. On my biblical anniversary calendar, this happened just about, 3 months and 20 days prior? This happened before Joshua's long day. So I don't want to get flat earth. I hate to get flat earth on you. I strongly now lean towards a flat earth. But if you had a ball earth and the earth stopped and the earth halted its rotation, it would be crazy tsunamis. Okay? There's just so much biblical evidence to support more of a flat earth than a ball earth. It's like plain as day. I can't say for certain, but I strongly lean that way. But if you look and we read back to verse 13 or verse 12, Joshua commanded the sun to stand still and the moon to stand still. Okay? He didn't command the earth to stop. He commanded the sun and the moon to stand still. And I'm going to show you an image of Hezekiah's seal. Okay? Coming up. And that the image of Hezekiah's seal, it has a winged sun. A winged sun. The Egyptians put wings on their sun everywhere. So we'll take a look at that. All right? Also note that Beth Shemesh, which in Hebrew, okay, so guys, any idea what pulled the sun circuit this far north and then stop it completely during midday and then restart it? Please advise. Please put your comments in the comments section. Also note, guys, Bet Shemesh, which in the Hebrew means house of the sun, and I've been there several times. And the way that the sun feels in this particular area of Beth Shemesh, it feels like it's a tropical sunlight, even though it's almost like 7 degrees north of the longitude. The sun just hits and radiates differently in Beth Shemesh. It just feels like it's a tropical sun, even though you're just so far north. And if many people who have been there will tell you the same thing about how they feel the sun radiates in this area. It feels a little bit different, which is probably the reason why it's called literally the house of the sun. But this Bet Shemesh is on the same latitude, laterally, as the valley of Aliaon, but it's just several degrees south of the Nebra sky disk. Is put about 1600 BC. So Joshua's long day, some people have it around 1450 BCE. I forget when Gil Broussard had it projected. So how can the sun and the moon be this far north, guys? Also, if anyone is an expert in the portals in the book of Enoch regarding the portals of the sun and the portals of the moon, the 6 portals or the 7 portals, you can go over this, guys. I'm not so much an expert of that yet, but check that out. It happened way far north. Something, guys, something here pulled the sun this far north, it appears, to stand directly over Gibeon at solar noon, and the moon here to get on the same alignment, to come this far north. Some heavenly body, something strange, something just absolutely, not normal happened this day. This strange work that's prophesied to come regarding the judgment of Babylon, which I believe I linked regarding the heat of the feasts of the drunkards of Ephraim, that it's also the drunkards of Ephraim, this judgment that's going to come regarding to this strange event of a heavenly bodily appearing close to the earth that's going to pull the sun somewhere where it shouldn't be and cause judgment to come. Sometimes Gil Broussard said the heavenly body appeared and caused the earth to tilt. 3 times I believe he said that it happened, and 3 times there wasn't evidence for it to happen. We'll take a look at some of his work that he did with the ball earth, guys. Okay, so here's the biblical anniversary spreadsheet that I made, that I published. It's a publicly shared Google document. I'm constantly making updates to it. I took this snapshot a couple of days ago since I've made this. But what I want to bring your attention to, Yeshua said, as in the days of Noah, and also said, as in the days of Lot. And if you want to know the timing, as in the days of Noah and as in the days of Lot, we're in it. Look, guys, 2 days ago was the 40th and final day of the flood rain judgment on the earth. Today we're here, that's the 28th day of the 3rd month, and just a couple of days away from now is when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. So this right now, what we're going to talk about is Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed. I also believe that this is the day that of the 185,000 Assyrians were destroyed on this day, and also possibly believe that it was Joshua's long day happened on this day. Okay, so I believe that Joshua's long day happened at the summer solstice. The summer solstice. So I believe that Joshua's long day happened on the summer solstice. So this is a day of remembrance. The summer solstice this year is right here on the 21st. So what we have on, here's the day, this year the summer solstice is right here. And I believe that Joshua's long day happened on a summer solstice event. Happened on a summer solstice. And I'm going to show you something in the future regarding the summer solstice on June 21st, 2020. There's going to be a solar eclipse on the day of the summer solstice. So maybe, guys, like I said, I think it could be a pre-tribulational sign now, but then 3.5 years in or 4 years from now in 20, is it 20 or 2021? I'll have to take a look at it. 2020. So guys, after looking at all of these events, going back to here, okay guys, so here's the biblical anniversary spreadsheet. It's a publicly shared Google Docs spreadsheet. I'm constantly updating it. There's some things that need to be updated in here. Tim Foster from YouTube channel Tim Foster 405 shared, sent me an email regarding the 12 spies. He theorizes, I believe, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he brought it up that the 12 spies were probably sent out on the first day of the 44th month. And I put this now in here because I believe too that it looks like it could have happened. I put question marks by it. But anyways, this is an available document that's available for you guys to check out the biblical anniversaries on Yahweh's true Elohim calendar. This is not Jewish fables, no Jewish. Anyways, so getting back to it. So guys, let's talk about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah before we get into everything. Before we talk about Joshua's long day. So here on this day, okay, El Shaddai appeared to Abraham with 2 witnesses. Okay, so the angel of Yahweh appeared on this day, basically, to Abraham, and they ate a meal, and then the two angels left, and the 2 angels left to go destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and then El Shaddai shared with Abraham what he was about to do, and Abraham pleaded, if there's 50, if there's 40, if there's 30, if there's 20, if there's 10, he won't destroy it for the sake of 10. That's where they left it. And the next thing we heard was the 2 angels appeared to Lot as the sun was going down at the city gates. Lot said, "Come stay with me." And then the next morning, when the sun had risen above the plain, judgment happened. And if you know, the day, guys, it starts at sunrise. It's all throughout the scriptures. It was right in front of our faces. I shared that video with you guys that proves that the day starts at sunrise from scriptures. It was right in front of our faces. Hallelujah. The Essene said it started at sunrise too. But it's in the scriptures, so it doesn't matter what the Essene say on that. But they kept it like this, and so they saw this. They saw these things. So anyways, what's important about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, we know from Jubilees 16 that El Shaddai appeared here on the first day of the 4th month. It doesn't say this in the book of Genesis, but Jubilees is called Little Genesis. And as I shared, Jubilee scrolls were the sixth most copied scroll found in Qumran of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And that the version that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had was compared to the ones that were found in Qumran with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they lined up. And like I said, Ethiopian Orthodox Church also had the book of Enoch. So hallelujah. I think that the Western Church, which has not, these things have been taken out by men trying to hide Elohim's truths. But hallelujah, our brothers in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had these scriptures, and kudos to them for preserving them and adhering to them. But I want to put out there that these things are legit, and there's insight that we can get from the book of Jubilees. And I pulled so much data regarding biblical events from Genesis and Exodus out of the book of Jubilees. So guys, book of Jubilees, here we go. It says it, first day of fourth month. If you've ever wondered when the judgment happened, it happened after the first day of the fourth month. It doesn't say the exact day that the judgment happened on Sodom and Gomorrah. So let's talk about the judgment that happened on Sodom and Gomorrah. If it was about 85 kilometers from Mamre to Sodom, okay? So if the two angels that left teleported, okay, if they teleported the 85 kilometers, they would have got there, they would have left, had the meal with El Shaddai, the angel of Yahweh with Abraham, and they would have left, and they would have walked off and then teleported and got there at the city gate at that time to go, and that would have happened. They would have left here in the afternoon on this day. They would have got here at evening. They would have stayed the evening here, and then when sunrise, after sunrise, is when they dragged Lot out. They were dragging Lot out during sunrise. The new day starting, they're dragging Lot out with his wife, and then judgment, fire and brimstone came down on Sodom and Gomorrah after the sun had risen above the plain. And that's when the Essene say the new day starts. According to the scriptures, that's when the new day starts, is in the morning, okay? And so Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed here, okay? That's if they teleported. Now, if they walked, there's no way that they could have walked 85-kilometer journey. If they left here, they probably would have been able, through all the mountains, they probably would have not have gotten to Sodom of Gomorrah until, the Sabbath. Had they had walked on the Sabbath and they got there on the night of the Sabbath, Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't celebrating the Sabbath. And I've never seen a judgment of Yahweh that happened on the Sabbath, and it doesn't make any sense that Elohim would come and do work on his Sabbath and judge on his Sabbath. So I suspect that the angels probably arrived this night and would have judged them this morning at sunrise this morning here after the sun had risen and destroyed on the 24th. So the 24th, guys, this is the same time that the Gay Pride Festivals is going on in San Francisco and New York City. This is the heat of the feast. They're going to be drunken in their debauchery and in their sin, and judgment could come. So, but it also could come here on the 21st day, which makes a lot of sense too, before it even starts. They're all going to be there for the pre-parties. If you've ever gone to parties or anything like that, there's always, in college they had the pre-parties, right? Before the parties happened on the weekend, you were pre-partying on Thursday. So that's just how things went in college, right? So anyways, this is Saturday this year, this is Sunday this year, so maybe the people are arriving on Thursday having their pre-parties, getting ready. When I drove through San Francisco, we drove through San Francisco on a Thursday prior to the Gay Pride Parade happening 2 days after. So me and my family, we drove through it, and they were setting up shop. Might have been on a Friday that they were setting up shop, but it doesn't matter. But they were getting ready to party, even though the official festivities didn't happen till Saturday. Okay, but so look, uh, this is why I say 21st to 24th possibly this year, but it could be later on too in the future. Okay, so this is when the Sodom and Gomorrah was judged somewhere between the summer solstice and a couple of days after the summer solstice. Somewhere in here is when it would have been judged. Now, this is when I actually have Joshua's long day. Joshua's long day, I believe, happened in the same time period right here on the summer solstice. When the sun was at its highest longitude north was when, was during this event, and the angel of Yahweh appeared, and there was a magnetic pull, tilted the earth, or who knows what happened, what strange act happened. We don't have it 100% recorded, but it would. I believe that those planets would have been as far north on the summer solstice, and it makes sense. This is only 3 months and 20 days after they entered into the promised land, which was the 10th day of the first month, and the 11th day of the first month was the Sabbath. Okay, the first day, guys, that they entered the promised land, the first full day after they entered in was the Sabbath. They came into the promised land and rested. Guys, this is the Sabbath. It says in Hebrews, if he had given another day, if there was another day given, he would have given another day, but he didn't. It's the Sabbath. It's not a Sunday, the first day of the week. Okay? Paul didn't say collect the money on the Sabbath but he said collect the money when you guys come to meet together on the first day of the week. The first day of the week is a meeting time for believers to meet, but the Sabbath is the Sabbath. It's a day of rest. There's rest for your souls. This is the ancient path that Yeshua taught, that the prophets taught. It's the 10 commandments, guys. The 10 commandments. Okay, seventh day Sabbath is one of them. All right? So we have Joshua's long day happening here. We have Sodom and Gomorrah happening here. It's probably the same day that I project was Hezekiah's, the Assyrian, 185,000 Assyrians were destroyed. And it's also, I believe, to be the same day, right in this period of time, guys, this 3-day window here, these events would have happened. Okay, David's fight with the Philistines possibly would have happened somewhere in here. We talked about the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah, the 185,000 Assyrians being destroyed, and then Joshua's long day. Those like 4 events, I believe, were pinpointed around this time period. But as I said just prior, regarding the summer solstice and the sun being as high north on Joshua's long day, I believe that it happened on the summer solstice, which this year is June 21st. I strongly lean towards June 21st seeing this, but I see other things for June 24th. So the next visual that I want to bring forward is some work that was done by Gil Broussard. Now, Gil Broussard, he's done a lot of things trying to prove, theorizing, trying to prove out Planet 7X. And let's talk about this graphic that we have pulled up here. But I don't think he's aware that most of these events probably happened on the same day. During the summer solstice is when the day happened. And we're going to go ahead and get into this. I don't think Gil Broussard might not know, but I believe that most of these events happen during the summer solstice. And as I edit this video, thinking about the summer solstice and all of the pagan religions and all the pagan religions in the whole world that have adopted the summer solstice and revered the summer solstice, these are the truths that happened on this day, guys. So that's all counterfeit, but this is the truth of this. And who knows, maybe they're just ignorantly worshiping this power that they heard about in the events that happened on this day. Because a lot of strange things throughout the ages, it appears, happened on this day. And let's go ahead and get into it. But he has 3 days, 3 events happening where the earth tilted 28 degrees south. Now, that was when Joseph, during the time of Egypt, Joshua's long day, And then the 185,000 Assyrians were killed, Hezekiah's sundial, and Jonah's Nineveh. All happened here where the sun tilted 28 degrees south. But I believe all of these events happen on the summer solstice or around the summer solstice. We're seeing a huge amount of volcanoes uptick and everything else. Okay? But only 3 events were recorded where he believes that the earth tilted 28 degrees. Now, he's using a ball earth. I think that his work needs to be re-examined and redone using the flat earth model. And this sudden appearance of, he believes that it's a red planet that came out. Who knows? I believe that was an appearance of the angel of Yahweh. But he also believes that it caused 3 hours of darkness on the land like the time of Yeshua, and it created a solar eclipse. Joshua's long day, that the earth and the moon, or the sun and the moon, were on the same plane, and they were so close together that there had to have been a big eclipse. So guys, check out Gil Broussard's work on this. But getting back to it, what I wanted to show you, I know that I talked about this year could be an event for a pre-tribulational event. I also talked about a mid-tribulational event. But guys, I saw something that's kind of crazy, that there's going to be a solar eclipse on the summer solstice in 2020. Okay? And this is something to pay a lot of attention to, that there's a solar eclipse on the summer solstice, which is when I believe Joshua's long day happened, the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah happened. All of these things happen on this day around this time. But I think maybe something else might happen in the future. Maybe it happens now. Maybe it happens 3 years from now. Or 2018, so 19, 20. Maybe it happens in 2 years from now. I have no idea as to the timing of this event. But look and see, guys, that there is a solar eclipse that's going to happen, which I believe is Joshua's long day, on all these other events of this Planet 7X event happening on July 21st. But I don't think it's Planet 7X. I really believe that it's an apparition of the angel of Yahweh. So that's a possibility. But it could happen in a couple days from now. I don't know. All right, so June 21st to June 24th, 2018, a couple days from now. So guys, so check this out, okay? And check out Gil Broussard's work. So Gil Broussard's work, I said, was done using a ball earth. I lean now flat earth. I'd like to see a lot of his theories on a flat earth. We're actually doing the theories on a flat earth now. But if this is something for you and you guys are called to go ahead and look into this matter, publish some information, please do it. Please share it with me. Please share it with my channel in the comments section. So here is a flat earth model of how the sun works. This orange line is the equinox in the middle, when there's about equal day, light and day time. You have the spring equinox and the fall equinox, which is also, this is called the Great Gate, according to the book of Enoch and his observations. Okay? Then you have out here on the flat earth diagram, okay, there you have, this is the winter solstice. So the sun comes all the way south, then works its way back up, and that's when you have spring. And then spring to here, the sun works its way inward. Now you have the summer, from spring here to summer, and then now you have the fall, and now you have winter, and now you have spring and summer, and that's how it works. And as it's going around, the sun is moving around the earth, and it's putting a spotlight on its orbit. Remember, it says the sun is gone out like an orbit or something to the ends, like a circuit to the ends of the earth. So it doesn't say the earth. Psalm 19 does not say the earth is on a circuit. It says the sun is on a circuit. Guys, this supports a flat earth. Just saying what the scriptures say. Okay? So this is how it works. And then as the sun moves around during the daytime and does an orbit around its circuit, I should say. It does a circuit, not an orbit. The sun does a circuit above the earth. What happens is it puts a spotlight underneath it. And as you've seen the rays of the earth, of the sun shoot out, if you've ever seen rays of the sun shoot out, it's just putting a spotlight on that part of the earth. So when the sun is all the way here at the summer solstice, and it's doing this long day, guys, interesting. Now that I think about it, if the sun was up here, of course it's going to be a long day because it's now moved into the center of the northern area. So if the sun has moved, this is 23.8 degrees, and now the sun is here, standing over Israel, guys, and it made the day seem longer. So if the sun came all the way up and it's going around, it's going to make it seem like the spotlight is on this area of the earth, as the spotlight is going to continuously be on Israel that day, on the land that day, and the sun could stop at the middle of the here. It stopped, and then it slowly restarted again, and as it's restarting, the spotlight is staying here, and the time is going, and then it's moving. So we'll have to take a look at this, guys, but that means that the spotlight of the sun would have been more north. And just like if you've ever been north, like in Alaska, or seen that in Alaska, during the winter when the sun is down here, it's like almost a 24-hour day of darkness. But when the sun is north up here to the Tropic of Cancer, this is the Tropic of Cancer, this is the Tropic of Capricorn. When it's at the Tropic of Cancer up here, for the summer solstice, it's the longest day of the year. It's almost like a full day. It's like a long day. So Joshua's long day. Okay? So that's how it would have been. So this is as real time as I'm going through it. This is how I understand it to be. So the sun must have been pulled this far north inward. Okay? The northern star is here. And this way. And so it would have pulled in here, and it would have shined, even though it would have stopped at one point, and then it would have restarted, and as it was going down, they were still doing the battle, and then the fire was coming on them and everything else, but it definitely stopped above them at that 31.5 degrees longitude during the middle of the day, during the solar noon. And so that's how you solve Joshua's long day. Joshua's long day has to be on a flat earth, guys. It just has to be. And then what happened was, as it stopped, and then it probably restarted, and as it was restarting, it was going back, but still the spotlight of the sun was on it. That's why that day got so much light that day. So summer solstice this year is June 21st, 2018. But this is pretty strange that this is going to happen during this time period, during the 7-year period, that there's going to be a solar eclipse here. Okay, so here's King Hezekiah's bulla. Remember Gil Broussard, he said that Nineveh, Hezekiah's sundial, and the 185,000 Assyrians all happened with the same passing of what he called planet 7X. Okay, and what I want to bring to your attention was that it could have been a planet, but it also could have been an apparition or an appearance of the angel of Yahweh. And that I actually believe, I lean more towards that, or it could have been both. So here's King Hezekiah's bulla seal. I want you to notice that he put the Ankh here, guys, and there was another Ankh believed to be on this side. It means life. Okay? Let's not get caught up in pagan symbols. Christianity is so scared of the truths like these. Ankhs representing life. This was a righteous king. Okay, his life was extended. He was healed from the works that he did. After he was healed, he did something really stupid, but he was really a righteous man. He let the Babylonians see all of his wealth. But whatever, he was a really He did righteousness, guys. And his life was preserved and for 15 years longer. And he was healed of that disease. And he was given a sign, and the sign was that the sun would go back 15 steps. And notice, guys, how he has the sun with wings on it. Here are the planets. Here's the sun. Now, could this be planet 7X with its moons? Maybe. Possibly. Okay. But it also could be this winged sun. When I saw this, at the time, I believed that it was planet 7X. When I first saw this, with its moons that it's taking with them, I thought that that would be the case. But it also could be the winged sun, guys. All right? Whatever it was, whether it was planet 7X or the winged sun, he attributed with life, that his life was extended 15 years from this event, because of this event that happened. So hallelujah. It's pretty awesome to see Hezbollah, the surface just within the last, like, I don't know, was it 5 years or 3 years? Maybe, I don't know, 2 years? This thing came about. So this is so impressive. But his life is right here. The Assyrians were killed. The sundial went back. And then Jonah's Nineveh happened all here according to Gil Broussard. I haven't documented Jonah's Nineveh with these two events, but I definitely believe that these two events are linked, and possibly Jonah's event was also linked here. So I believe Gil Broussard is right, but I haven't verified it. So trust but verify. I need to verify this. Don't want to give bad information, but I definitely believe these two were linked with this event right here, guys. Right here.